Dela, how are you doing? Deborah, how are you doing? Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma. Good afternoon, ma. I'm doing well. How are you doing too, ma?
Doing fine.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Mm.
Okay. Let's try to send message to the class and to your respective, yeah, both of you in December. Okay, and to your team. Mm, Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. It's the week been for you all. Let's just get started. We have a lot to do today. How's the week been for everyone? What happened this week?
It's practical. It's still a practical way.
I'm not sure I heard what you said.
I said it's been a practical week. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
It's been a
And
practical
the
week for you.
like the client doing the research, the outreach, and lead research, and also connecting, trying to check it's fill the tracker and all.
Mhm.
It's really a dicey one and more practical. Like all what we've learned have been put into practice and it's getting more well.
Okay, okay. And did you face any critical challenge or anything you would want to discuss?
Yeah, I faced some challenges, honestly, because of the location I am presently.
Okay.
So informations I couldn't get so far because there's some of them their websites kept um kicking me out while some of them's website was opening, glaring. And while I was on LinkedIn, so I kept like I could not access some key decision makers because we kept saying LinkedIn member for me and I had to go on Google to go and look for some. So there were challenges, but we just kept finding a way around it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what was the companies that you were looking for? What's their employee range?
I had the one of from 10,000 upward.
That's why you're eating that. If you're eating 10,000 upward, most of them they would have firewalls that will prevent you from visiting their websites if they're not in the location that's been configured to allow access. So that's why. So sometimes it's better for you to, like I said, for this particular engagement, you can definitely start from 100 to 500 or 1,000. So those are still within the mid range. 1,000 or 10,000 upward is gigantic, and it means yes, there are opportunities, but you definitely face some limitations.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
any other challenge?
That's all. That's all the challenge I had because while I reached out I haven't reached out, but some connections are already coming through. Like they're already accepting my connections. So I think
Okay.
that's all I. Yeah.
Okay. Deborah, how was your week?
The week was good. Actually, it was more practical, just like Adiola said, trying to generate leads for the Sikora project and all of that. It was for me because I was dealing with leaders, HR, and not actually
Mm-hmm.
directly CEOs and all. So it was easy for me to find leads on LinkedIn because most HR and I mean they're accessible now compared to top notch um CEOs and all. So I was able to generate lots of leads that fit that the rationale of my own 4 colors of insight. I
Okay.
sent connection requests um like how many 30 plus people on LinkedIn. So I'm still expecting their response and all of that. I got one response from one person though. She gave me a very big ella.
What do you mean by that?
She just told me straight up, I'm not interested in buying any services for now. Like I've not yet even told you anything.
That's fine. If you all listen to the objection handling video that I made, no is part of it. Well, trust me, I know how difficult it is to take no because if I tell you that I myself I take no easy, I'll be lying to you, okay? Because sometimes you get through different pressures, you get through different emotions, and you're like, what? You didn't even let me express myself. But it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
She might not be your buyer today. Does not mean she might not be your buyer tomorrow. So there's always a way to reframe the process to work it out. So I don't know the message you sent. I think I'll be also interested in seeing that message, but I would want to know how was the message reframed, what was the tone of the message, because I know we're going to talk about consultative selling today, but the best way to always approach it is giving out the value first. I won't lie to you personally, everyone is me myself, it's something that I have to keep doing to create that relationship, which is why I always emphasize on relationship first. So if I come tell you, oh, I'm a guru, there's nobody I've spoken to that's ever told me a no, please just turn your back and say bye bye because that's the lie. Okay.
Okay.
Um, any other challenge you faced?
I'm still waiting for connection requests for we can
Acceptance.
continue from there.
Okay. Well, I did look into the tracker, so I see that a lot of you are I see some of you are working. Justina,
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
good evening to you. How's your own week?
It was a lot.
I don't know if I should be happy that everybody's
Then
saying
what
the
is
week
it?
was a
What do you want? What?
my job with mom now. Don't spend on that child. How was your
Oh,
week?
it was fine. It was fine, but it was a lot though.
Okay. So what do you mean by it was a lot?
I was trying to generate leads that qualify my program actually. And most of them are CEOs and all that. So most of them are not really active on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're not really active on LinkedIn. So I think I'm focusing more on
chief human resource officers, and it's not really all the companies that are fit for the program that have such rules and all that. So, but I've been able to send for
wait, hold on. Why did you conclude that not everyone is fit for the program? Because if I am correct, you are doing 360.
Yes, ma'am.
Every organization is fit for that program. So what do you mean? Tell me more.
No, you mentioned that it's for executives, right?
Yes.
Yes, like I said. So some of the leads, that's the CEOs and all that. Some of them are not really active on LinkedIn. That's what I'm trying to say. For the organizations that, yes. So I had to choose the chief human resource officers for some of them, which I've sent connection. So I'm waiting for
I'm going to button. Chief Human Resources will be the best person that will be the best influencer you need, and even possibly your buyers, because most time they have the budget for development. The only time they have to develop the budget for that executive development is if the CEO wants to take up what is a COO. Okay, so HR will still be your best bet, because most times, even if they do not buy the 360, the executive one, they may come a level down to management development or leadership development, which is still the same thing, it's just that it targets different levels, a step down, uh, a step down in the organization. So go on.
Yes, ma'am. So I've been able to send connection requests to them for the leads I've gotten so far. So I'm still waiting for them to accept my connection. Then we'll take it off from there.
Okay. Omotola, how was your week? Where is Tola? Where's Omotola? I definitely saw her. Rosemary, how was the week?
Fine, thank you. Good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my week was great. Thank you.
Just that. That is not what I'm asking. When I asked how was your lead, how was your week, I want you to tell me what are the things you worked on, what are the challenges that
Okay,
you ran.
so yeah, so my own work was focused on leadership, and I was able to, yes, I was able to, and effectiveness, group effectiveness, and also I was able to make my research. I used LinkedIn, and the first I followed through with what you said, because for my own aspect, I need to connect with industries over that have employee over 10,000, according to what you gave us. So I did my research there, and I was able to connect with few of this organization, especially like the organizations, one at Dakota, and the other ones at Michigan. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Michigan. Yeah. So
Michigan.
I got, yes, Michigan. Thank you. So I connected with 4 people. I actually connected with more than 4. So I don't know how best to put it. So I connected with, for example, if I connected with one HR director from this organization, but because we are just to fill one organization we are working on, I connected with more than one in that organization that I've written down. But I only dropped one on our contacts Excel file. So I am waiting for
Why?
them to accept my contact, because I thought we can't drop more than one for a particular healthcare.
No, it doesn't matter. You document everything.
Oh, no, I have it documented in my own notes, but like on our
On the tracker,
Excel
you
file.
document.
Yes, on the tracker, I documented just one, their
I can't
director.
even see you, sir. I can't even see you. I can't see any of your details. So where did you document it?
On the tracker, on that contract, I did like 4. And it's showing
On
that
Sephora?
that was, yes, yes. I used,
Hmm.
yeah, maybe I'll share it with you because I was trying to access the data. I couldn't log in. It wasn't allowing me edit, but later it allowed me edit.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll
Did
share.
you create a new file?
Did that work?
Did you create a new file?
I honestly don't know, but Jane, I saw other people's work and I documented my on that. I don't know, it's not showing
Okay.
at all. So
Now
I
we'll
can
have to
share it
figure it
with
out.
you. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
show you.
It's okay.
So I connected with Howell Hospital Healthcare because they are above 10, they have population or employee above 10,000. I connected with
And
their lead HR
let me let
director.
me let me hold it there. Well, 10,000 is GUC, but it's also difficult. But just like I told Diola that you don't have to restrict yourself to 10,000. I'm not saying you guys should not connect with them, okay? But you don't have to
Okay,
restrict yourself to that. You could actually do 1,000. 1,000 employees a lot. Even organizations with 100, they do this kind of programs because there is an organization that has more than 50, okay? They do programs that would help the development of the organization. So 10,000 is good. I'm not saying it's not good. Yes, it's good, but sometimes you also might need to look into organizations within, I would say within 50, okay? But sometimes
okay.
you can do within 100 and above, but that's okay. I'm seeing some of the things. Delinda, what did Delinda? This is health
Have you
partners.
been able to see my documentation?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I can only see Adiola, Justina, Deborah, Onye. I didn't even see Oluchi, sir. Oluchi, how was
I
your
did
week?
I did 4. Okay. Actually.
You did what?
I said I worked on 4 and I documented it. I didn't know how.
It's okay. We'll figure that out. That's not a problem. If we can't find it, you redocument it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oluchi, how was your week?
My week was very busy, man, but it was fine. For
Hmm.
the connection part, I couldn't really connect with anybody because I'm not using a paid LinkedIn premium, LinkedIn version. So even if I send them a connection, I can't message them. That's another issue. So I was even thinking that okay, I'll be able to get their emails. Maybe they have their emails linked to their, or maybe their emails attached to their LinkedIn. So I can just send them a direct email also. But I did not see any company that had that. And I didn't even know that I was supposed to document the the whole thing in a shared. I didn't even know. I just remembered now. I think you mentioned it, but I totally forgot about that. So I couldn't really connect with anybody, man.
Okay. The class, what should we do to Oluchi?
Ma, yeah. God.
She should
No,
need that and
that's
tie
the
her eyes up.
punishment.
Now close her eyes.
She should need that, right? She should knew that. Okay. Any other
Tie
person
her
that has
close
a different,
and close her eyes.
Ma, please,
she need
mercy,
that close
oh.
her.
Mercy, ma.
She should need that close her eyes, right? We
Yes.
have a different
Mercy,
punishment
ma.
because we need to do it, we need to put together punishment.
Yeah.
Honestly, is this your profile?
Ma, what did you say?
Is this your LinkedIn profile?
Yes.
So number one, you've
Yeah.
not even done and you've not optimized your LinkedIn for anything. Number two, oh, you know Henito. Two, hmm, 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 hmm. You cannot connect. You cannot connect with anybody. What did you say? Because you're not using
No,
LinkedIn.
like
Oh, please, who is using LinkedIn Premium here? Let me know. Who is using LinkedIn Premium? Is there anybody using LinkedIn Premium in this group?
I actually I'm using their free trial. I'm going to go and unsubscribe now before they remove my money.
Yes, I also subscribe because I've forgotten to that multiple times. But let's even okay, you said you're using their free premium, which is fine. But any other person using okay, Justina is using LinkedIn Premium. Okay, who else is using LinkedIn Premium? Rosemary is rolling her eyes. Adela, are you using LinkedIn Premium?
No, I'm also having the issues he's having. No, but I also maneuver though.
Hey, I'm trying to say is that you can connect with people without using LinkedIn Premium. I'm currently using LinkedIn Premium, yes, but I have had not to use LinkedIn Premium for a very long time. The only reason I'm using LinkedIn Premium is because of my sales navigator, right? But you can connect with anybody, maybe not everybody, okay? But you can connect with anybody on LinkedIn without the premium. But I can see you have a lot of work to do. You don't have just 89 connections. So which means you are anyway, you don't let me see what I want to say. Which means that you
you have to
are
say it, so please
ah,
please
the
say
word I
it,
want to
ma.
say is not nice. So let me just keep that to myself. But what I'm trying to say is that you can definitely connect. Okay, you can connect with people on LinkedIn without using the LinkedIn Premium, and you just need to find them. I've taught this thing multiple times, which means you're not following through. What are you working on, Oluchi? Where's my tracker again? Oluchi, it's factors of engagement program. You didn't even document. Okay, you say you forgot. You didn't even know what to say to yourself. It's factors of engagement, CHRO. All you need to do is CHRO, right? You don't CHRO. Then you come to filters and you filter by location. Okay? You come to people first because they look at people, then you filter by locations. So I know I'm in the United States, I'm going to find someone that is not in the location I am. And let me use Singapore. I know Singapore. So let me use Singapore. You should. Okay. And this is how you can find the people that you want to connect. Why is it not showing in Singapore? It's just showing Singapore, show results. Why? I'm coming on with you. Yeah. Okay, fine, good. CHRO and Singapore. So that's going to future house locations and the people I need to find in Singapore. So this is if I were going to connect with someone in Singapore. This is, and then you said something you could not send a message. Yes. If you're not using, even me that I'm using premium, there are some people I can't send message to if my email is finished. Okay. So, but I can still connect with them and add a note. So now, out of all these persons, LinkedIn Top Boys, building HR across Singapore. Okay, I think I'm interested in connecting with Joshua. Okay, so all I need to do is to click on connect. If you're using your phone, okay, if you're using your phone, it might be a little bit different. If you click on connect, you just send the connection without a message, and you want to add a message. So if you want to add a message, then you have to go into personalized invites. That is what we allow you to add message while using your phone to connect. But now I'm using my system, my PC, so I can click on add a note. What's your name? Joshua. Okay. Hello, Joshua. I am looking to expand my connections in Singapore, and I found your profile impressive. Okay, good. Finish. I've connected. Then I just have to wait for you to look and see the profile is impressive. But all I just have to do is to wait for. This profile is not impressive. This is fine. Okay, this profile is impressive. Impressive. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. She have no friends on doesn't send to Singapore. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to. I haven't sent him a message. I only sent him a personalized note, and I can do it for multiple persons. I can even decide to connect with people, okay, without. I would like to send a message to this one without sending notes or personalized invite. And one thing I want you to know that you have up to 100 connections, I believe, a week or a day, maybe a week, that you have access to. Utilize the 100. So at least connect with 100% a week. If you're going to do 20, 20, 20, 20, just split. If you're going to do 30, 30, 30, split it out, because you need to maximize it. At least in a year, you should be able to connect with 5,000 people. Send connection request to 5,000 people. This will help you grow your accounts. It will also help you grow your visibility and expand your network, so that the people, when you stop receiving LinkedIn member, because your network is small. If you are receiving LinkedIn member, it shows that your network is small. Oluchi, does that answer your question? Does that solve your problem, rather? But Oluchi, you will need that one.
Yes, ma. I'm sorry, ma.
Adiola, go on.
Oh, sorry. Okay, ma. I wanted to say that. Okay, I understand what you mean, and I'll work on what you said, at least about trying to even reach 100 questions a day, so a week, and I will try and do that. Thank you, ma. I'm really sorry about the work.
It's okay. Don't worry, correct with love.
Thank you, ma.
Adela, you see your hand is raised.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually complain about this thing because this stuff that I actually did, that was how I started. But
I'm
at
not
some
sure what's
point, I
going on
couldn't
with your
go.
network. I can't hear you.
Hello,
I can hear you now.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I was talking about the search that you made because I was also doing the search actually. But at some point, the thing told me that I already reached limit for the month.
For the month. That means you've done 100.
Yeah,
For the month or for the week?
for the month. That was what it told me. That's why I was actually since then, like that, if I search for somebody, sometimes I can only see the first three or the first four. Then the remaining one will give me LinkedIn member. And at some point too, I could not add notes because it told me that I've done the adding notes for the month.
Really?
So I
It's
think
on?
there's a little bit of restriction. Depending on you, I think it's depending on the person's account. Because for me, I had to look at it and very well that guy is sure. And since then, it still has been giving me LinkedIn member, like it to show me for the first, and some it won't do like that. But if I try to use the boolean and like filter all those kind of things, to start just giving me the first four, the first five.
It's supposed to be for the week, not for the month. Like I just literally have to check it. There is no monthly connection request. It's always 100 for the week. And that's for 7 days. 100 for 7 days. 100 for 7 days. So does that mean that you've connected with 400 people in a month? I don't think
I
so.
don't I don't think so. Just for me, I was just sending connection. That was that time that you were like we should connect with people that thing happened.
Mhm. That's interesting.
But if I search for the person, single-handedly search for the person, it pops out normally. But the person is not within my third connection or my second connection. Sometimes it just puts LinkedIn member.
Yeah, I understand the LinkedIn. From your third connections upwards, you probably see a lot of LinkedIn members, which is why you should always start with your second. That is why you need to expand your network. Because if you do not expand your network, you get limited by people you can connect with. But this is the first I'm hearing that there's a connection limit for the month. I've always known it to be 100 for a week. I've never even maximized mine myself.
Yeah, this
Even
screenshot
when I've
daddy, but me
used
tell
it
you, I was
documentary.
shocked. I was also shocked that months ago.
Yeah. Let's let the week reset and try again next week and let me know what it says.
Okay. But now I'm already at, thanks to the class, I'm already at 1,005 connections. Since if I don't enter, and how many followers? I think now only something followers.
Oh, where were you before we started this program?
I know it's to check it actually because I just used to see 500 plus connection on my LinkedIn profile. So I know, but with this class, when I started looking at my connection, I was at 900 and something before. But as it went on, that's just sending connection now. It's already 1,000 plus.
Okay, that's good. Congratulations. Let's celebrate all our small wins. So can we celebrate big wins? Okay, awesome. Uh, I could keep asking everyone about their week, but I'm glad that everyone, even though you all said it was, challenging or practical, or let me use Justina words, it was a lot. It was a lot. Even though it was a lot, right? I'm very sure that you are seeing the benefit of it. Yes, it's rigorous, but you can see it because it's going to start shaping your thoughts. You start shaping the way you think around things. You start shaping the way you act like a professional. And today we're talking more around how you can think. You can start thinking like a professional, and walking through things from not just tasks or activities, but to the outcome and driving business impact. So that's what we're going to talk about today, a little about consultative selling. Also, I did send a message. So if you haven't checked your email, there's a message I sent to you all, probably around past 12 my time. Sorry about my messages was a little bit late today. I have some emergency around my kid, which we're still trying to solve. But you all are still my priority. Also, you are also my priority. Also, yeah, in addition, but you're also my priority. So, which is why I had to ensure that I have this class, nevertheless. So today we'll talk more around how you can think like a growth operations professional and how you can continue to move from task execution to building, creating, establishing that founder capacity, or just like we talked about on yesterday webinar as founder operations support that you can help create that strengthen the organization or your founder capability. So for the past, this is week 5, we have one week to go. For the past 5 weeks now, we've been on this journey, and you all can all agree with me that the most valuable professionals, right, are the ones that do not just complete a task, but they create capacity, right? Because that's one of the things that we're doing. We're seeing that through capacity, your positioning is critical, your visibility is critical. It's not just about your strength or your skill set. There's a lot more involved around that. So for you to be able to strategically enable or amplify a founder's capacity or efficiency or effectiveness, you also have to do your own part. So that mindset shift is critical, and we've been dealing with that since week 1. Okay, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5 We're here to talk more around how you can all begin to think, not just as a VA or an admin assistant, okay, but as a strategic partner with any business that you are involved with. And the beautiful thing about this is something you can also apply. You can say, Miss Florence, oh, okay, I don't think I want to go through this route, okay? I want to apply this in my business. You definitely can. Or you can say, oh, Miss Florence, I think I just want to see ways I want to apply this in my career path. You can. And the beautiful thing is it sets you apart from every other person's out there. So I think everyone should give themselves a round of applause. So if you're in this class, you've journeyed so far, you should give yourself a round of applause because you're doing well. I'm proud of you. I'll buy you a Subway. Okay, if you don't have Subway, but I'm proud of everyone. I'm proud of everyone. Yeah, because you guys are doing absolutely great. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, it's too practical, but we're taking the step every week. You're implementing the steps, and I believe that you're all seeing results. If you did not, if you were not on the call yesterday, go and listen to yesterday's call. I was so proud of my student yesterday. Okay, for those that were not in the call, I was absolutely proud. The brother almost took over the session and turned to the lecturer of the day. I was excited to see that. So, and it just showed me one thing that yes, we have various activities going on, okay? We have various courses going on, but the transformation, okay, that you all are getting from this, I'm yet to post the student spotlights. I'll probably do that this week. Okay, but the transformation that you all have been experiencing is amazing. What's that word? Exponential. And I personally am proud. So today, I know we have 2 weeks to go before our graduation party, okay? But we can all see that there is a mindset shift. We can all see that there is a mindset shift, okay? But one thing I want you all to look into today is if we're talking about thinking like an operator, okay? I don't know why I'm saying okay this morning, but if we're talking about thinking like an operator, we're talking about how you move away from being a tax collector. I'm not even using the word doer, a tax collector. Do this, do this, do this. You collect the tax, you go do it. You are a tax collector. But let's use the beautiful word of a tax doer, okay? You're moving away from being a tax doer to being a growth operation professional. And a tax doer is someone who waits for assigned tax, someone who completes assigned tax, someone who would report assigned tax, someone who maybe just does the assigned tax. But everything that we've learned from the beginning, from week 1, is moving you towards you being a strategic partner or an execution partner with any business. So instead of you waiting for an assigned task, you can foresee, you can connect the dots. When we had Econ come in last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, she was telling you about how to communicate like an execution partner, how you can communicate what is going on, what's currently going on, what's currently working, what you're currently working on, what you still have pending, what are the risks or the issues that you've identified, and what you need from the person. That's framework. That framework, you all should, when they say put it in your left hand so you will not eat with it. If you're a Nigerian, you understand what I'm saying. You all should put it in your left hand so you will not eat with it because it's going to elevate the way you communicate like a professional. And that's one of the things that you need to put in place as a growth operations specialist, as a growth operational professional, as a revenue operational, revenue ops professional, founder ops professional, anything that you want to I'm using different title intentionally because I want to expand your horizon to see that there is so much involved in you being a VS or you going through the VS Academy. So you are able to find business opportunities proactively. You all have been doing lead research for the past, or some of you have been doing lead research for the past few days now, and you're beginning to see that there are opportunities everywhere. But the best way for you to fish out that opportunity is for you to be consistent in building that relationship. Deborah just talked about she getting her first Ella. That's the word she used. Okay? No, but it's not going to stop you. It's not going to stop you from proceeding with the next person. If I open my LinkedIn message for you all to see, you see that I've received a lot of no's too. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to take a step back and say, okay, that's the end. No, you are able to present your value because you understand the value and you know how to articulate the value. And you know that your value is in solving your business problem. Instead of you reporting activities right now, you're reporting insight. Last week, is everything fine? Last week, we talked more about is it last, is it last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, we looked more into a business, a simulated business, and yes, we looked into the dashboards. And that last week or 2 weeks, I can't remember. It's looking like a long time ago. But you all are beginning to see that this is the best way to report an insight, report a business impact, report a business outcome rather than reporting the activities. It's not about the number of leads I generated. It's not about the number of leads I qualified. It's about the end result, the outcome of what is generated, good or bad, because that's the insight that the business needs to be able to decide what's their next step. And definitely, it's not just about using the system, you're understanding what is the principle that guides the system. And most importantly, you're putting all this together, or you're now able to put all this together and amplify the capacity of anything, any organization, any executive, or any business. So at this point, even if there is no week 6, I will tell you all that I am 90% confident that those who have been consistent with this program can do great. Do you all think the same way, or I'm thinking far above what you think? Okay, let me hear from you all. Do you all think the same way? You can put it in the chat, you can use the microphone. Do you think that indeed there's been some transformation with the way you approach things, with the way you can approach organization, can approach founders, can support founders or
I
not?
actually do. I actually do. Because when the first time you were like, we are going to be doing outreach, or when I heard about this thing and I saw sales, I'm someone that once I see sales, I used to take to my heels and feel like, eh? Because it's just like something that, so to like go to somebody and say, come and buy this biscuit. It looks like you're actually begging you. It's sometimes like you want to go and beg somebody. But when you're like, we're going to be reaching out to people on LinkedIn inside their DM, I am someone that actually will like shy away from that kind of thing. I'm like, I cannot do it though. But when I put my foot forward, whatever what you've taught us, and you were like, we should build rapport and stuff like that. I am not someone that saw myself doing that. But now entering people's DM on LinkedIn is now like it's looking kind of normal to me because I feel like what did I want to go and say inside someone's DM? So now it feels normal, and with what you've did, the exercise you've actually equipped inside me, particularly, has been a strong one with the materials because I felt like I'm more confident now, and everything is building up in my mind because in the coming week you'll be seeing me and I'll be doing some wonderful things. Yes, I'm having that confidence to do a lot of things with what you've
Awesome.
taught so far. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Great job. I'm excited about that. Oluchi. Oluchi, you're on mute. I think we lost her. Okay. Anybody else wants to share? Well, that's fine because I am, even if no one wants to share, let me look at the chat, nothing in the chat. Even if no one wants to share, I am confident with all the exercise that you've been doing so far that there's been a transformation of the way you approach things, except if you did not take this serious, except if you did not implement everything. And I've been monitoring the tracker myself, and I'm looking into what you're doing. So yes, I am confident. And even from what Justina and Deborah also said in the webinar yesterday, I am super confident. So there is no problem about that. And if anyone still needs further support, we still have this week and next, let's say 2 weeks more to go to balance things to ensure you're clear on what to do next. Okay, so let's proceed to the biggest question of the day. Oh, from the capacity question. So this single question is going to guide you whenever you're engaging with founders. You know, we're talking about how you can begin to think like an operator. So this is the biggest question that you can put at the back of your head whenever you are engaging founders or you're supporting founders or you are qualifying founders. It is, how can I create more capacity for your growth? How can I amplify your effectiveness? How can I amplify your growth strategy? Doesn't matter the variation that the question comes in, it's the same thing. It comes down to how can I create more capacity for this founder? So I want you all to have this question at the back of your mind. When I am talking with any of my business clients, there's a question I always tell them to always ask when they are doing outreach. And I'm going to tell you all for that for free today without paying me business client money. Okay. And it is what's the biggest challenge that you're currently going through or that keeps you up at night, or what's the biggest thing that keeps you up at night? What's the biggest challenge you're currently going through? What's the biggest challenge that you do? What's the biggest obstacle you want to roll out? Anyhow you want to do it, it still comes down to what's the biggest thing, what's the most important thing that you need support with, because that way it then opens you up to the best way to okay, I'm going to use this term, to structure your offering when you're supporting it, when you're working with the clients. Okay, so for you as a VSA, is this question is going to be the biggest thing that would open your sights, give you an insight into what's the best way I can support this business, this organization, this founder, without losing the deal. Because if you go in and say, if you go into founder and say, this is the services I offer, the founder might tell you, I do not need your service. Okay. If you go into a service to a founder or to a business leader and say things like, this is what I do, this is how I support, this is how I support organizations, maybe with lead generation or with restructuring of data to ensure they do not lose deals in the crack, the founder might tell you we're good. That's one of the reasons I said don't send the outreaches message yet. just connect with them. You can connect with the notes. Oh, I'm interested in learning more about your organization. Oh, I'm interested in learning more about you. Oh, I'm interested in something you said. Look into their profile, comment on their messages intelligently so you can move the connection from a cold outreach to a warm outreach. So now, with you as a VSA, this question, how can I create more capacity to this founder, for this founder, is the biggest drive that will help you in deciding what your next step will be based on the founder's response. So if anyone comes to me now and say, Florence, I can help you with lead generations. I can open my LinkedIn, you see a lot of them. I help organizations with lead generations or marketing strategy. I'll tell them no. Let me use it in nice English. I'll tell them no. Why? You can't help me with lead generation when I'm training people to even do lead generations. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you can't tell me you can't come to me to sell that service because it's a service that even though my LinkedIn does not explicitly says I help organizations with maybe providing lead generations, what I do is to help founder-led businesses to create the capacity for them without it becoming, so they won't become the bottleneck or the business won't become founder dependent. That's simply what Florence does. And what I do can then come in various ways, various strategies, from helping them with revenue generation, which lead generations definitely fall under, to helping them with development, leadership development, personality development, and the rest of things, depending on what the constraint is. There's some, I think I would want to do, if anyone is interested, a program that would really train people on my own framework. That way, even if you want to talk about that, you know exactly what you're talking about. But let's leave that for now. If anyone's interested, you can definitely reach out to me. But what I'm trying to say is that when you ask this question, you're not just thinking or you're not just positioning yourself as a service provider, you're positioning yourself as a strategic partner or an execution partner to that founder. And again, I've always said this, founders buy up. They do not buy services, they do not buy tasks, they do not, there is no one that is going to wake up and say, oh, I need to hire someone without actually peering, I need to hire someone to do this in order to achieve this or in order to remove a pain. Nobody wants to spend money, but they will only spend money to ensure that there is a goal in mind and it has an expected outcome. So that's the very first thing I want you all to know. So now let's take a look at this growth framework. Because for you to be able to think like an operator, so when you hear the word operator, we're already talking about a senior consultant, an operational specialist, or a strategic partner. So I would interchange within those words. But let's take a look at this. You're always going to start with the observing, okay? You want to start with observing, which is why when you are approaching a founder or you want to send connection, you want to first of all truly take a look at their profile. Don't do what I just did earlier. I said you have an impressive without checking. I had to go back and check and say, wait a minute, does this actually have an impressive profile? What if the title is just a title and there's nothing else there? But I went back to observe. Some people can be able to skim fast and pick up dots and pieces and put them together. Some people might need time to be able to put out things. And with the advent of, with the use of AI, it could even be faster. You can copy someone's profile, put it in ChatGPT, put it in cloud, and it's going to give you tangible outcome, tangible information about this and the best way to approach this person so that when you are speaking with them, you're speaking their language. You're not speaking your language, you're speaking their own language. Okay, so the very first thing again is you want to observe. You want to observe who this person is. What is the positioning of this person? Is this person an employee? Is this person a consultant? Is this person a business owner? Is this person an executive? Is this person an intern? Is this person, because you need to understand where your decision maker is, who your decision maker is. And if this person is your decision maker or possibly an influencer or a champion to whatever service or to your goal, because sometimes it might not be a service that you're offering, it could just be a goal. I want to expand my LinkedIn network with this category of people. There was a time I said, I had a talk show. I still do have a talk show. I just do not operate anymore. But there was a time I had a talk show. It was called the DEI talk show, where I speak with DEI professionals, talent acquisition professionals, HR professionals, and ask just different questions on the diversity, inclusion, and DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. And at that time, I just had too many people that are not in the profession. Even though I was an HR professional, I did not have I do not have a lot of HR professionals in my network because, I was always reaching out to different people in different sector or different department or different industries, as an HR professional trying to build organizations and stuff. So I do not have a lot of, but at that point when I wanted to start my DEI talk show, I had to say, wait a minute. For me to invite people as guests, it means I need to expand my network. So my goal at that time was not even to sell anything. Well, I was going to sell my program because I needed to attract professionals. And my goal was simply to expand my network with HR/DI/TA professionals. And indeed, I probably have 50% of them right now. Even right now, I'm trying to do it with, not do away with them, but now it got to the point whereby I then said, oh, I needed to expand my network with sales professionals. So I expanded my network with sales professionals. So now I probably have around 50% HR professionals, probably around 20% sales professionals, 20% Nigerians, okay, and 10% founders, okay. And the founder was recently, because if I am supporting founder-led businesses, it means I need to expand my network to the top executives, CEOs, founders, chairs, chairmans, and the board members and the rest of things. So your goal could also drive the activities to the outcome, the ratio of the activities to the outcome. So never skip step one, because the observation portion of it is what is going to tell you if the activities is going to lead to the end goal which you have set. Number two is you understanding. This is a point whereby you begin to diagnose. Your diagnostic insight, your diagnostic skill set comes in place because you've observed, you've probably looked into the profile. What is the common industry denominator for this person, for this industry, for this organization? There is always a common industry challenge. Every HR will probably have issues with recruiting. Every HR will have issues with talent development. Every HR will have issues with talent management. But the hierarchy and the level of the challenge might vary. So that is why you don't want to just lead with one problem and expect that, oh yes, everybody has the same problem. Everybody may have the same problem, but different varieties of the same problem. So that is why diagnostic, you understanding the root cause, you understanding the industry, you understanding the root cause is very important. And now I'm already going into root cause analysis because that's the next thing that's about to come out of my mouth. But I don't know if everyone knows the root cause analysis, but you can know the 5 whys, 5 W's and H. What, where, when, who, what's the 5th one? What, when, and why. Yes, what, when, who, where, and why. Ask yourself those questions. What do you think is the problem? Who is the best person to solve this problem? Where would they be experiencing this problem mostly? Why is the problem existing? And when do they experience this kind of problem? Then you, as the operator, the strategic partner, you have the power of the if. You have the power of the how. Because then you can then use what you've gotten from the 5 W's to provide how you can solve the problem, how they can resolve the bottleneck, how they can resolve the issue. Does that make sense to everyone? Let me stop here before I go into the 4 orders. Any questions so far? I'll take that as no question. Then you move to step 3, which is recommendation. So you cannot skip step 2 and go to step 3, which is why I will say it again. Do not lead with your service offering. You always want to lead with relationship, because relationship is what will help you get the access code to diagnosing. So you want to talk to a founder, you've observed a problem, you need to diagnose the problem. And the only way you can diagnose the problem is through a qualifying call. And in the qualifying call, if you skip that, you cannot just go to someone's profile and say, oh, I took a look at your profile and here is this and this and this. Yes, it's possible sometimes if it is glaring or the person has been explicit about what their problem is. So you can do what? You can put a value forward to earn that access. So, but most times, most organizations, especially executive, they might not be so much explicit about the challenge or their problems. So you cannot skip step 2. If they are explicit, you can use the little information you get to gain access. If they are not, you cannot skip it. Then step 3 is recommendation. This is where you then propose your recommendation. Oh, based on what I saw, or based on what you talked about, I saw a post that you mentioned that you need this. This and this and this is what I can provide to you to help solve this problem. Or why don't you take a look at this template that I created and see if this might be a need or can solve the need for you. You've put the value forward or you've put your insight forward that makes the person take a step back to listen and grant you the access you need. And when the access is granted, that is where you execute. So from execute to optimization is when you have been engaged in or with a client. So yeah, you're already executing with precision, you're delivering on every outcome that has been identified. And never forget to measure, track all outcomes. Track all outcomes, not activities. Track all outcomes. Yes, there are times whereby you may not be able to, there are times whereby you may need to track activities, but ensure that the activities or the tasks are being converted to an outcome, because that is where the insight, the strategic insights that every founder, every organization needs to know. And whatever then happens, you take all this information, you continue to optimize for a better amplification or multiplication of the goal. Does anyone have any question about this framework? Because I can decide not to teach you anything again. This has covered the entire class for today on how you can think like an operator. Does anyone have any question? And I said about consultative setting. I sent you all a a file on consultative selling. Read it. It tells you how you can move from just being a service provider or a vendor to you actually being a strategic partner, which means you can move you from being a stranger, okay, to a partner in a business. Adela, you have a question.
No, I don't have a question. I'm confirming the material you sent, ma.
Okay, good. Should I proceed? Because I think I'm done.
Yeah, not done. No, we still need more knowledge.
Everything you need to know about being an operator was already in that framework. So every other thing I have on my slides are just supporting information. Okay, let's proceed. So this is more about the consultative selling I was talking about. Okay, says that you should stop asking what should I do, okay, and start asking. Deborah has her hands on. Deborah, go on.
Thank you, Ma. Sorry to bring you back. So I wanted to ask, let's assume that I am analyzing a business and um the problem the founder is having is outreach, not just
Okay.
generating leads, like social media outreach, something like that.
Mhm.
Like, how can I help? Because I'm definitely not a social media. I cannot come and start dancing on social media to promote your business. How can I help such founder?
Hmm. You don't have to help everybody. I hope you know that. That's the very first thing that you. But you can always reframe. Is the way she said she cannot even come up. That's not social media for me. But you can always reframe a problem to get to the root cause. So the founder said he needs help with social media. So that means he's probably saying he needs help with marketing. Remember that I said it that I probably would do one bonus class, not today, a bonus class that would be able to bridge your skill set in VSA, okay? Because your skill set as a VSA cut across sales, marketing, customer experience, business development, and executive assistants. So it cuts across 5 to 6 different departments that work in the silo. So marketing is also very important. It's a very important strategy. It's a very important skill set that you can decide to learn more about it and merge it with your VSA skill set because it amplifies your reach. Marketing amplifies your reach. VSA solidifies your reach. So those are the two things that can work hand in hand for you if you have the skill set. But now you need to understand what exactly does the founder need. If a founder comes to tell you that, oh, I need help with outreach, you should be able to ask what exactly is the problem, not just the solution that he thinks he needs. Because sometimes they'll tell you that this is what they need, but what they actually needed is not what they think they need. That is why you cannot skip diagnostic. If you do not have the skill sets in dancing, I don't have the skill set in dancing. I'm so bad at dancing. I never even know how I danced on my wedding day, but I'm so bad at dancing. Okay, I cannot even do. I remember my team always fight with me with content. How would you be if Hannah and not do content? But there are multiple ways that you can go about it. Yes, I may not be able to come and say, and not say I can't talk on camera. I talk on camera, but I may not be able to come and put phone. Where's my phone stand set? Phone stand, put camera, put lights, put all these things and start dancing. Well, I can sit in front of a camera and do, have a talk, have a thought leadership conversation, which could also be a form of a marketing. You can make a short clip from it. You could make a newsletter from my conversations. You can make anything from it without me having to dance. So there are different strategies in which you can approach it. But the best thing is for you to be able to sit down to understand what the core challenge might be, because the core challenge might not be that they just want someone to create content. Some people do textual content, some people do AI content, some people do faceless contracts, do a lot of type of things. But you need to be able to understand where this business is, what would be the best strategy to approach their marketing strategies. Then I can measure it up with my own lead generation or my own VSA strategies and better amplify the capacity of the growth strategy of the organization. Deborah, does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
Ask me. Anybody with any question? Okay. So quantitative selling talks about you stop asking what should I do, so you actually diagnosing the root cause and providing value. What is happening? Why? This is the 5 why I just talked about. What is happening? You want to know what's happening, you want to know why it's happening, you want to know who is happening to, you want to know what where it is happening, you want to know when it happened, the 5 whys, but it could be rewritten in any format. It could be written, it could be resaid in any format. But at the end of the day, you want to understand who is involved, what, who, why, when, and where, because that's what is going to help you gather all the insights that you need to be able to provide the value and answer the question and provide solution. So that is it. So instead of just asking, you're in a conversation with the founder, you're asking, so what do you want me to do? Oh, the founder said, Deborah said, the founder that needs help with outreach, you're not asking the questions that you need to ask to get more information. Rather, you're taking everything, even in employment, your manager calls you for a brief, you're also, oh, so what do you want me to do now? Okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, no, you should go there with a active or a consultative thinking mindset, with a consultative thinking faculty, whereby you're asking questions. Oh, can you tell me more about why this is happening? What did this happen to? When did it happen? At what time? Who was there? Who was involved? Because that way it's look as if, oh, I don't want to question this person. You need to question, because I think that I'm not training you people to, okay, I'm not training you people to come and just go back and become a reactive fellow or a virtual assistant that all it just needs to do is to help create calendar and that is it. You value, I'm not saying those are not valuable, but the value is much more than that. You're grooming, I'm grooming you, VSA is grooming you all to go in and become a consultant in the nearest future, an operator in the nearest future, a strategic partner to any organization in the nearest future. And the nearest future starts today, not tomorrow, to start today. So you ask those questions, because from those questions, you are able to gather the necessary insights to be able to profile solution. And when you have full information, you have the full knowledge to be able to walk through a problem to solution, execution becomes wonderful, it becomes easy, the effort becomes easy. There is nothing like, I thought that is what you want. It has cost me my career. I'm going to be very serious. I thought that is what you want, or let me use that as once cost in my career. I thought that is what you wanted from me. There won't be the what's this called? What do you guys used to call this thing? What I ordered versus what I got. It won't be what I expected versus what you did, because you already have a full insight of what to do based on the questions that you've asked. You've gathered more information, you have enough information to be able to put it right and do it right. So that is one of the things, this is the foundation, the baseline for consultative thinking. So now we're saying you thinking like an operator. We're saying when you're able to ask this question, you're able to see different pieces of a puzzle. So you're able to see if a piece is missing by drawing patterns. You're like, oh, this is a recurring thing. Like for instance now, where's my parents? So for instance now, you're working with a client, let's say you're working with a team in human resources, and you're working very closely for a client that deals more with conflict resolution. Let's use conflict resolution, or a legal firm, and they're taking brief. And in taking the brief, they're telling you that, oh, Department A stole company money, they embezzled company money. Department B, they are beefing their manager. Okay? And Department C, they don't even come to work. They used to resume work between 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. Please, what exactly would you say the problem is within the organization? If you're not sitting down to ask more questions, when did you start noticing this? Okay, so the past 6 months. What have you done since the past 6 months? Who have you talked to? Who are you involved? What measures have you put in place? Those questions will be able to give you more insight on what the organizational problem is. Maybe it's culture, okay? Maybe it's leadership. Maybe we should look into their compensation, okay? Pay. Maybe people are quiet quitting. Why? So you'll be able to sit down to look more like, oh, and begin to see patterns. Like the person that said you need outreach now. Why do you think you need outreach? Why do you think you need social media? Oh, I want to increase my reach. Oh, tell me more about your personal brand. How would you reach your personal brand? What about your company brand? What about your company brand? Okay, how active are you on social media? Do you earn any money from it? Have you been able to generate income from it? So why exactly do you think you need social media help? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? When you're asking this question, even the founder or the business leader will take a step back because you're helping him to think, to see way ahead, or open his eyes to things that he has never thought about. That way, you've earned not only your credibility, but you've also earned trust. So you'll be able to see patterns through the questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. Never. I have uploaded some document in the resource center, and one of the document I uploaded is 20 to 30 questions you can ask founders. 20 to at least. You cannot sit down in a call and ask someone 30 questions on a go, but you can take some questions, from it. Is it about team? Is it about operations? Is it about sales? Is it about marketing? Is it 20 to 30 questions you can ask? So I'll say you all should take a look at week 5 folders. It will give you more, like if you're thinking, oh, I don't want to ask questions. So what kind of questions can I ask? It can give you a nudge. Then 2, when you are able to see the patterns, you'll be able to understand how each of the patterns connects. That is what we call system thinking. You'll be able to understand how they connect. Oh, I'm beginning to see a pattern. I was on a call with one founder yesterday. It was what was his problem, Steph? I'm trying to remember. On Thursday, not yesterday, on Thursday. And the problem was he needed to I'm trying hard to remember. Oh, it was operational problem. So he has an operational problem with some of the systems and the way he can structure our things. And that is one of the constraints that we really diagnose in Provide. Structural problems, which is under operational problems, system problems, leadership constraints, and strategic constraint. So he fell more under structural constraints. And when I was asking him some questions, it was like, wait a minute, I've never thought about that. This is a founder that also supports other enterprises and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. I've never thought about that. Oh, is that how you advise that I proceed? Is that at that point, if it's I'm not giving you how, I'm only asking the 5 W's for you to be able to see that I know what I'm doing. I can diagnose your problem. So when it comes to how, it now comes down to I can help you do this because I've shown you that I understand your problem. So now that has brought to the fact that you have the full credibility and full trust to be able to say that I believe Florence, who diagnosed the problem, can solve the problem. So thinking of as like an operator, it's it's a it's a continuum. Okay, it's a continuum, focusing more on how you actually get the work done strategically. So improve processes, definitely, because that's one of the things. SAP is a big one that we've talked about. Process documentation is a big one. Project management is a big one. And we've all gone through, we've taken you through the process of how you can do all these things. You just need to be able to say, okay, yes, based on all what the patterns I've seen, I've connected the dots, that's the system thinking. Then you can say, oh, I should be able to map out the workflow that will solve this problem. I should be able to map out a solution that will solve this problem. I should be able to write out, recommend, let me use simple terms now, recommend the solution. That is what will improve processes. And in turn, it reduces your founder dependencies. It reduces the problem. It eliminates the problem. Okay? It's the constraints, it takes it out. That is how you said everything I'm saying still goes back to this. As I said, this one is the main thing that it's the framework that drives everything. With this, I don't need to teach anything anymore. Because no matter what I say, no matter what I keep saying, it still goes down to the growth framework that I give to you. But Jela wants me to keep teaching Ultra my notes. And if you did not listen to, if you're not, yeah, go on. Yeah.
I said knowledge is lost, ma. You know, you are actually kind of feeding us now when we reach the field. So you want you to complete it for us. That's why I said you should continue. I know you said a lot and it's been insightful so far because you've also teach with what you've taught so far. You taught us like this now. You're really teaching us if someone is coming to consult us, how we should think. Yeah. And it's a lot.
Me too. Sorry, Jill, I'm going to interrupt you. It's not even until someone comes to consult. When you are on a call with the founder or with a business leader or with anybody, you are building relationship, right? You've asked the
Yes.
question, the first question that I asked, I put here, this question. You've asked any variation of the question that you have put here. They will do the talking and tell you what their problem is. So from their problem, you are already diagnosing. From what they are saying, I'm already thinking, I see a pattern here. Oh, I see what is happening here. You know the way doctors do when you go to the hospital, a doctor,
Yes.
you go meet the doctor, right? Right. You go meet the doctor, you're having conversation. Most doctor will always start with, oh, how are you? How are you feeling? Are you fine? It's the pain. When are you feeling the pain? And they're first trying to warm up the environment. Are you oh, you look good. Okay, even the doctor don't give them later. But you know, if it's a small girl, they say, oh, what a beautiful small girl, just to warm up the environment. Then they ask you the BAMO question. So what brought you here today? You see that what brought you here today is when you then begin to, oh, I've been experiencing headache for the past few days. Or they ask you, what's happening with you? What's happening? What's going wrong? What's it? What is it? Why do you look dull? Maybe it's someone that just you're working on, but dull. For someone new, there's no money. You know, so you ask a question that allows the other person to talk. Even if you are the one that they are supposed to even be questioning, you turn the table. Power dynamics, you change the power dynamics, you get the upper side, the upper power, because you lead with a question, and most importantly, you lead with an open-ended question that allows them to talk and give you more information. So if you ask a founder this question, how can I create more capacity for you? Okay, this one is your own thought pattern. But if you ask a founder that, oh, what's the biggest thing, what's the biggest challenge you're currently going through? What's actually keeping you awake at night? And the founder start telling you, it's my team, I just recently hired someone that is not performing well, and we've given her all the resources that she needs to perform. We've done a onboarding, we're doing internet training, but we don't even know what next to do. But thinking maybe we'll just need to eliminate the position. How would you approach that? Remember that you went into that conversation to say things like, I am a VSA and I support founders with maybe lead generation. Please, how do you want to proceed? Let me ask you, if you were the one, anybody on this call, if you were the one, you're on a call with the founder, that you want to sell lead generation because that's what you have at the back of your mind, how are you going to adapt your service offering, which you intend to sell, with what I have just said as a founder? Who is going to share with us? Anyone?
Sorry, ma, can you please come again?
Is that a big question?
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I said, can you please, ma, come again?
Okay, I said this. You as a VSA, okay?
Yeah.
You are currently speaking with a founder that you intend to sell, maybe your VSA is like, oh, I can help you with lead outreach, or you're focusing on, I can help you with lead generation, I can help you expand your capacity by generating more revenue. Okay, that's what you intend to talk about. That's what you intend to say. And the founder then tells you, you ask the question, oh, what's the biggest thing you're currently going on, or what's the biggest challenge you're currently facing? And the founder tells you that, oh, I just recently hired someone who was not performing well. We've done a couple of trainings, we had a very good onboarding program, and right now we're just thinking we're going to eliminate the position. How would you solve that founder's problem?
First of all, we asked the question
Okay,
that what was the problem they want the employer to solve while they were thinking to bring the person on board, like the position on board? If that's my first question, that would be. And also, I'll try to understand the role of the role that was open for that employer. I think those are the questions I'll be asking for now. I don't think, and because in as much as the person that they employed might not have understand the role, depending on the way they put it, and maybe they were not giving it the right how like it the right name, or it's not something they could actually revert with. So I think that's what my brain is thinking.
Okay. There is no wrong answer, Oluchi.
I would ask the employer that what's the work culture like, what's their culture like as a brand or as a company, because I want to know what facilities are available for this worker beyond the meeting up with the KPIs and all. Are there other facilities, like can the person easily walk up to the HR and talk to the HR about what is going on, if there is need, or is it a culture of just demanding that things are done without knowing what other issues are there? Or I want to know if the person's manager might be maybe is someone that maybe is not easily approachable and maybe cannot work with the person or is not able to guide the person, because this person might just be a new person to the system. So I just want to know what the work culture is like, what provisions they have for people depending on where they are, maybe as junior professionals or as senior professionals or as beginners like that. And I also want to ask the person that what was the as Adela said previously, that what is the objective of the role? And if I mean based on what the objective is, did you hire based on that objective? If you're looking for somebody to do a leadership role, you can't hire a junior professional to fill that role. So you would have the best person would have been a senior professional or somebody with maybe up to 5 years experience. So those are things I would primarily want to ask, and this I want to know from that person.
Awesome. Deborah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, first of all, from what you've been teaching us today so far, you said the VSA came to the founder saying she does lead generation, right? So first of all, you've been teaching us that we shouldn't promote ourselves as tax executors, but as an entire system. So first off, that VSA is wrong by saying I do lead generation. If you are going to be supporting founders, you have to be an entire system, because you don't know the exact problem that the founder will be having. So first off, you have already put yourself off. And then now moving forward, how to solve that problem? I'll go back to what you said earlier: root cause analysis. What, who, when, where, and why. So if I'm able to get the answers to all of these questions, that's how I will know how to help the talent pin and solve it. Go from there. Thank
Okay.
you, ma.
Rosemary, I saw your hand up earlier. Good job. Rosemary, I saw your hands up earlier.
So ask questions like where, when, and why. Because I feel like there's something wrong with the job description. Maybe it is not properly spelled out. And so when we find out what the employer really wants for the role, then we can now check um maybe the job description is not properly named. That is why they are not getting what they want. So I think that's one problem that we have to look into. Another thing we have to look into is moving on to create a solution. We can now ask if they can be um, like an orientation of like a platform where we can now train, you know, them alongside with the HR. So that is what I don't think is.
Okay, awesome. So you all have spoken well. Alicia, you can put your hands down. You all have spoken well, okay, from different perspectives. While some of you have similar answers, some of you have different concepts. But in all, you'll be able to see that the best way to approach this is not by leading with your service. Because you did not even expect the service, the need to be a people pain, a people pain. So you do not expect the need to be. So for instance, now the role might not even be related to maybe sales, marketing, uh, BD, RevOps. It may not be related to that. It may not even be related to anything that you think you could do, but you know you can still help. As VSA, you can still, because I know the title is Virtual Sales Associate, but if you do think about it, I'm training you guys way above you being Virtual Sales Associate. I'm training you to be a strategic partner to work with any organization. And you need to have the mindset of a chief operating officer. That's where the operator comes from. You're thinking like an operator. You need to have that mindset. So what you're trying to think about is what are the systems in place? What are the processes in place? Do you have SOPs that can guide this person? Does this person have blog that they can use? What's the role about? Yes, you all said it. You tried, you did well, but I'm just giving you more insight. What's the job architecture? Who is the manager? What's the culture? What have you put? What are the best practices that you've put in place that can help this or better support this role? It may be even funny enough that you may also come into a conclusion to say, maybe this person is not the best fit for the role. What plan or contingency plan do you have to resolve it? Well, as a VSA, You could do the job of a recruiting because recruiting is lead generation. All you need to do is what? Oh, Tom, give me the role. Give me more information about the role. Let me check within my connection and see if there may be a better fit. Are you seeing are you getting what I'm saying? Because I don't know if this is like an aha moment for you, but I'm letting you know that it's not just about money, revenue. You could also do the job of people generation or people lead generation. There are roles like recruiting, marketing, there are roles that you can just sit down and say, oh, tell me more about this. Tell me more about the role. It's the same thing as tell me more about your offer. Tell me more about the outcome of the role. What would the person be doing? Tell me more about the organization. That's your branch. Tell me more about sharp updates. Matthew, you want to say something? Tell me more about the outcome, right? Tell me more about the business, more about the activities, which is the job description, the responsibilities. Oh, really? I should be able to map out to see people who fall within these capabilities for an interview for you within the next few weeks. Yes, maybe mama is in class. Okay? Yeah, come here, Carrie. Come here, Carrie. So you get able to say exactly. Exactly. So you'll be able to you're going to say, oh, I can help your business generate more leads. What you're talking about, oh, I can help your business generate more people, more talent in the pipeline. Because you're not static, you are dynamic. It is not just about me finding organizations the same way you're finding decision makers. It's the same way you can put that skill set. It's very transferable to find talent. It's the same way you can apply the same thing to grants. If you're like, oh, maybe I'm more interested in being a grant manager. Oh, I can take this and begin to find RFPs or grant documents that will help the organization, increase their grants. Do you want mama to carry you? You've not eaten with this since 3 days ago. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let me carry you. No? But does anyone do you all get what I'm saying? Like, do you all understand what I'm saying? Or does anyone have, or maybe I've taken you to the road that you don't know understand? Have I carried you to the place that you do not know? I want you to see that is why you go in with a consultative selling approach and an operator mindset rather than a service provider. A service provider will just be, this is what I sell, buy it. Do you need what I sell? But yeah, you're saying, tell me what your problem is. Let me see if I can solve it. That's why I'm trying to tell the brother earlier with the question that you have, that person saying you need content. There are various ways you can sit down you need to diagnose, because once you diagnose, you may not be able to have full insight of how or other ways that you can solve that problem. I talked about reframing a problem or reframing an objective or reframing an objection. That's the best way you can do it. Diagnosis is going to give you a full insight into other things, because then you can sit back, see patterns, think in systems instead of thinking in silos. You think in systems and being able to profile solution, recommend solution that achieve the same goal, even if it's in different way, different manner, different approach, but the same goal that the business or the founder has. Any question? Why do I still have plenty slides? Any question? I see Matthew in the chat. Okay. Yesterday we talked about AI as a capacity multiplier. I was also going to bring that in today, but I don't think we need to dwell on this. Anybody that needs to go and listen to that, to go and listen to that. But you can always use AI as a multiplier. AI as a multiplier. If you want to do a research, AI as a multiplier. Just begin to think about it because it also enhances your capability, it enhances your effort, it gives you speed. It gives you speed. You're doing diagnosis. I don't like always having a note sticker in this meeting, even though I do share summary. But you see how that sticker because sometimes the summary may not even capture everything. Maybe there's one details that she's like, you can always go back and say, oh, this, she said this, she said that. The same thing, look into note takers. There are free ones. Zoom has note taker. Read AI is there. This is Fireflies. There are a lot of note takers out. Okay. So always, you can use AI. There are many tools. I also did add I added a note for you all in the resource center about some free or paid AIs that you can use as multipliers or accelerators in your work. So that's going to help you with the automation. So for automations, I want you all to look into Zapier and Make. There are so many YouTube. There's so many YouTube courses or videos on automations, but look into Zapier is very, very easy to do. I was hoping that I'll be able to sit down and show you all what. Grandma, son. Grandma. Even the package. So give me. So make is also very simple. It's just, or even Miro. There are things that can help you with automations, and Miro will help you with automations. They have a bit, it's not very advanced, but I will always recommend Make and Zapier. They help you with automation, so you can always do automations instead of doing everything and ensuring that it integrates the systems also for you. So that's one thing I was going to say about automation. So instead of you looking more into, there's some tasks that can be repeated. So when you're talking with founders, you're looking more into asking questions. If it's about automations, you're asking questions around what do you do daily, what do you do weekly, what do you do monthly, what do you do that you would like to stop doing, what are the things that can be automated. So recurring work or recurring activities can definitely always be automated. And this is also a good opportunity. This is a very great opportunity, especially in our industry right now. Automations is critical and it's a skill set that I want you all to invest into. In our specialist class, we really go more into the automation systems, but in our practitioner courses, we introduce you into automations. We're supposed to do a live discussion, and I think I already did this, asking you about a scenario if you were going to work with a founder. But let me just open up questions to see if anyone has any question. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Question. So this is going to be, if there's one thing you're going to take away today, I want you to go home with this and think about this. The value you actually create is not task. Okay, I've said this over and over time. It's not the check process. It's not I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. It's more about you taking all those activities, taking it, turning them into an activities that is consistent, right? And drawing out a pattern, okay? Drawing out a pattern from that activities that is governed by a system. A system, not a tool. A system is a way of thinking, is a way of operating, is a way of doing things, okay? And doing that consistently, that is what is going to grow into that capacity building or capacity acceleration or multiplication that we've been talking about, that you're promising to give to every organization or a founder. And in turn, turns to a business impact. So your activity, it goes this way: your task to activities to outcome to impact. So if you're going this way, you should always remember that you're not a tax collector, you're not a tax doer, you are a strategic partner that takes any activities or any tasks and in turn compound them to help businesses grow by achieving their results, either their growth strategy, their strategic plan, wherever it is for achieving their business goal. I'm really done for today. Okay, I've been done since 5 or 6 slides behind. So this is your new identity, everyone. Please, I know some of you have taken virtual assistant classes, and I'm not saying that it's bad or it's this, but it's limiting, okay? So I want you to put that identity to one side now and understand that you're no longer just a virtual assistant that can help with calendar management, stats collection, and the rest of things, okay? You are a strategic partner, either a rev ops, revenue operations, or growth operations, a farm operation, whatever you want to call yourself. It's not about the title, it's about the identity. You are a strategic partner or an execution partner with any organization, and you can step into any roles from revenue to operation to execution. And you see, I've even added to HR for you today, to human, anything you can step into it and succeed in it because of the mindset you carry, because of the positioning you carry. So that's what I'm going to end with today. This is your assignment, but for us on this call, the assignment remains the same. We'll keep working on Sakura, but I just want you to be able to take a look at this as you are doing this research, okay? As you're doing this research, you're also thinking about all what we talked about today. What are you noticing? Observe, observe. Don't just look, oh, LinkedIn brought this as an ICP. You add it, you're a skill author. Yes, you are. You want to observe, at least be able to note down 3 things that you observed. Is it about their business? Is it about their content? Is it about their people? Is it about their time? Observe and note it down. Then diagnose. You know what? You can diagnose explicitly or implicitly. But I'll always say that even if you're diagnosing, don't have a conclusion until you talk. Until you talk with the founder. You don't have a conclusion until you talk with the founder, because that is when you can get the true diagnosis or the true diagnosis of their pain. Then you know what you can propose. What would you propose? Because if you first sit down and do your initial diagnostic and you're able to like, oh, based on what I have seen so far, these are the likely problems. Likely, no, these are the problems. These are the likely problem that this organization might be facing. Then you can go with them, ask that one question that allows them to talk, to tell you, and you'll be able to now use that to gauge if your recommendation was actually right in the first instance, or if it needs to be, to be tweaked or to be realigned, or you probably need a new solution based on what they have talked about. Then I also wrote here that 2 AI opportunities. Learn that Look at the notes I put in the resource center. I know I put some AI stuff, but you see, cloud is a very good one. It's expensive. I'm not going to lie. It's expensive. But ChatGPT is free, so you can continue to use it until maybe you want to get a paid one. But just look into how AI, either it's ChatGPT, either it's cloud, either it's Perplexity, anything. Look into how it can actually help accelerate any founder business or any industry that you're focusing on. And lastly, look into one repetitive task or process that can be systemized for any organization, especially you people that are more data driven, that it's easy for you to find that quickly and make recommendations. So you can look at this could in turn be a different focus for you. It could in turn be a different offering for you, or expand your knowledge and increase your capability when you're working with founders. I just want you all to think about it. So there is no submission for others, okay? Actually, for those who are in Sakura, I just want you all to focus on Sakura right now. But as you're looking at those generations, your leads that you're researching, start observing, start thinking, okay? Start thinking about what's the best way to approach this. Diagnose it before you act, because you need evidence. Evidence is what leads to insights. Evidence is what leads to insight, not just what you think you saw, which is why you need to observe. It's not just what you think. Look for patterns, look for gaps, look for opportunities, and collect evidence from either it's their profile, their website. Collect evidence. That's the best way you can always profile the right or the best solution. So if you want to, final takeaway from today is you observe, you think, you recommend, you execute to create that capacity that would increase or grow any business strategy or any business in general. And this is my last, Adiola, this is my last slide. So we are done. Any question? Any question? Deborah, I see your hands raised.
Thank you, ma. So, Kanipe, let's say that there's one business that I'm eyeing, like a
Okay.
physical business near me, and then I did this analysis, observe, recommend, and all of that, and
Okay.
I want to just for practical purpose, I just want to be forward and go and meet the CEO did not contact me. Oh, they don't even know that I exist. But I just want to go and give them like a proposal, like, oh, I noticed this and this can help you. How best can I well, I'm not expecting them to pay me, oh, but how best can I present my findings and myself?
Awesome. So that is you doing an implicit diagnosis. So you look into a profile and you saw that they have this challenge and you want to profile solution. So the best way for you to go about it is the same thing you said. The candidate that you go and you put yourself forward is exactly the way you go about it. But let's be more practical about this. So you would sit down to ensure that the problem is the right problem. Okay? And based on your observation, you found gaps, you found patterns or opportunities that you can recommend solution, and you are able to answer certain questions. So for instance, now there are some organizations that their problem is very glaring, even without talking to them. For instance, they don't have brand, no brand presence, nothing. You as a VSA, you're like, if this organization does not have a brand presence, maybe they don't have a brand presence on LinkedIn. Where else might they be building out their presence? Because you do not want to conclude that they do not have brand presence. So you might want to look into maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Facebook or their website to see where exactly are they developing their brand presence. Then you went there and looked at, oh, maybe they only do it on LinkedIn. They don't do it on LinkedIn. They use Instagram most of the time, or and YouTube. Okay. So which means it's not that they don't have brand presence. So you cannot go and say you don't have brand presence, but you can go and say, I have noticed that you are not investing in your brand presence on LinkedIn. That makes more sense. These are the things that you are probably losing out by not investing on or developing your brand presence on LinkedIn. Here are the ways that I can help you. Just send that proposal without putting price. And please, Deborah, you said something that you don't want them to pay you. Why don't you not want them to pay you? They have to pay you for the work that you are doing or the work that you do. But you may not want to just push the money first. You want to push the value. That doesn't take away the money because you get to be paid. You need to be paid. So you push the value first. You tell them these are the problems. These are what I've noticed that you are currently, going. So you tell them what, the why, you tell them, you don't tell them the how to resolve it, you don't tell them how to solve it, but you tell them what they are currently going through and what they are losing. You may even go forth and say that you're probably losing 10 times the deals you're getting from Instagram on LinkedIn because of their no brand presence. You make a number out of it. At that time, they're gonna sit back to say, tell me more about this. You end your proposal with schedule a call, like I would love to talk to you more on how we can resolve this. Here's my calendar, here's a link to my calendar. The schedule talk, you diagnose. The reason I say you diagnose is at that point that they've scheduled a call, you are not just jumping into your solution, you're trying to build a relationship that can increase credibility. Yes, you've already demonstrated credibility, but you now need to increase the trust level for them to be able to say, yes, I believe this girl or this guy or this boy or this person can solve the problem. Does that make sense to you, Deborah?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome.
I thought I was just going to be forward and just do like a
Okay,
business
or
plan and just go and give them.
you want to give them a business, you give them a business proposal, not a business plan. You give them a
Okay.
business proposal that is showing their problem and a possible solution, not the answer to the problem, but possible solutions that so they can see that there are solutions to solve their problem. Not all your solution. If there are 3 ways to solve the problem, give them half, not
Okay.
even one. Give them half. You want to show them that they can solve the problem, but you don't want to show them how to solve the problem. Because some people will take all these things from you and go and do it somewhere else without engaging you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Rosemary and Adela, no question from you.
None
Awesome.
for now. For me, I'm just good because I'm digesting a lot of things now. Now.
No problem. Well, we definitely have our support clinic on Monday. Adela, I know you scheduled a time with me. I'm going to have to move that time because I have a client meeting that's going to call into that time. So we'll try and see if we're going to do either earlier or later. So let me know which is going to work for you, please. I'm not doing Shakara, I'm begging you.
I'm also your
Then
client.
I know. Sorry, it's prioritization map I'm doing right now.
You cannot
Sorry.
get me with your client.
It's actually Sakura, which is very much important for the
Mm,
class for me. So I need to talk to
yeah.
them before the class. So that's so I apologize for that. So either we do it earlier, or we can even do a chat or a WhatsApp call anytime,
Mm,
maybe during your
okay.
lunch or something. Yeah, we can always do that. You
An
can always
idea
give me a
just
WhatsApp.
played through my mind now. And I know that
What did you
this
say?
might be, I said an idea just played through my mind, although it might not be possible, but let me just say it in case it is. And
Oh, in
so,
case of necessity.
yeah, so I know that we have been through a lot of simulation, both real life and mostly real life. And thanks to you, Ma. So I was thinking maybe we could actually have a simulation where you're actually talking to the client and we are there and you are seeing some kind of thing, maybe that thing again could actually be another eye opener.
Ah,
Oh,
I won't be able to
hope it's
promise
not
you that.
too much.
That's because I won't be able to promise you that. That's because of
Yeah.
sometimes most of the clients I work with, I'm on NDA or confidentiality agreement, and they may not be comfortable with seeing someone. But if there is a client that is open to that, I would let the team know.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, ma. I was just there. I don't know, my mind just went through that. Yeah.
No, it's an open one because you definitely can have a a client and you definitely can have such cases whereby you have a call and you allow your student in to learn the same way they do in residency in the hospital and the rest of things. So it's possible, but there's a lot of processes that needs to be done. Actually, in the United States, that there's a lot of regulations and
Yeah.
cultural.
Yeah. Thanks so much, ma.
Maybe
That's all.
cultural strategy or whatever that one needs to cultural best practices that one needs to put in place. So that's not that it's not possible, but you need to find
Yeah.
someone that is like-minded and is open to it. So I would definitely put that
Mm.
in mind like that. But I'm not promising
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I know because of confidentiality. It's very important to prevent this.
Yes.
They might not be so comfortable because they might think that they are going to take something from them.
Yeah. So we just have to be very careful about that.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Oluchi, I see your hands. I see your hands.
Yes, ma'am. Concerning what you said, for me, I'm going to give you like from my own perspective as someone that's in my own field. So me, I'm more like trying to build a career in the NGO, social development space and sector. And I'm just trying to understand how sales applies to this sector because yes, like a whole lot of things, especially when it comes to operations and reaching out to people. I think I can understand that one and I can apply it directly to the NGO space. But for sales, I don't know if maybe there are some things you can point out to because I've tried sitting and thinking about it, like how can I apply sales to this field? Yes, ma'am. So I just want to just highlight to me
Awesome.
that
I like that question. I like the fact that I beginning to think about how can I transfer this skill set to a different sector. I absolutely love that. And just like I believe I used a quick example. It was a passing example that the same thing I said with the HR, the same thing I said is the same thing you can do with even non-profit organization. We call it non-profit organization. I think that's what you call non-governmental organization, NGO. So it's the same thing. The same way you talked about it yourself, donation. You can see it's applicable to donations, but you're like, what other ways can it be applicable? The very first thing is you're thinking about in traditional sales, we have customers. What do we have? Who are our customers or who are our clients in NGO? Your donors, which is people that make donations, are your clients. People that you get grants from are your clients, your sponsors are your clients, your volunteers are your clients, your partners are your clients. At different time, at different time, you might have a program, right, that you need sponsors for. How do you approach sponsors? VSA skill set is definitely applicable. So the same way you can start thinking about sponsors that, we need to find sponsor for this program. It's the same way you're thinking, that is your offer at that time. I can find, I can make a list of prospective organization or high net worth individuals that can sponsor this organization. That's your lead generation. That is your lead generation because at that time you begin to make a list of people you can outreach, you can reach out to. So that is one way to do it. Or you have a revenue target. Non-NGO have revenue targets, except if they don't have any. I believe NGO have revenue targets. They have numbers of donations that they probably want to get in the years that can take them through the strategic plans or take them through the year. So they're going to break it down, maybe 30% donation, 30% grants, 30% sponsors, 30%, or I'm sorry, we have 10% left. 10% from program sales. Okay, now you get to sit down. So this is maybe our revenue target is $200,000 in a year. You've already broken it down into 4 brackets. You have your donation. I wish I have a board right now. I'm writing on my notes. You have your donation. You have sponsorship for programs. Okay. You have grants that you need to get. There may be some program sales, program product sales, because you guys cannot do a lot of sales, but there are still some things that you can sell that you put together in place. So now you say, okay, since you've broken it down to 30, 30, 30, 10, the program sales zone is the least one. That might not be your highest priority. Or let me even do it to 40, 20, 40, 30, 20, 10, so that you can have one of highest. There's always one that carries the biggest button. So let's say that your grant is taking about 40%. You now sit down, that's the highest priority. Which organizations are currently awarding grants that fit into the vision or strategic plan of your NGO? You start making the research. That's lead research. Now you're also giving me an idea. I should probably do a training for VSAs in NGO. So, but you're doing lead research, okay? You're doing lead research. You're researching where can you find the grant from, what platforms. Is it governmental grants? Is it states? Is it state afford? Is it international? You start look into their overview, look into their mission, look into how much is available. You identify them. Then how do you qualify them? The qualification is done through your proposal. Because at this time, for grants, you cannot sit down. You may not be able to have conversations with the one-on-one conversations with the grants provider. However, even grants, they always have informational sessions whereby they allow people to ask questions from them. You attend the informational question, you list out all the questions you have, all the questions your organization have, you list them out. If you attend your informational session, you ask the questions that will give you clarity. That is where your diagnostic that I talked about today comes in. You get clarity. What is this grant for? What do you want to achieve with this? What is the mission? How can we plug in? What are the things that might be a deal breaker? You ask those questions that then give you insights that in turn help shape your recommendation, which is your proposal. Help shapes your recommendation, and then so that you can increase your probability of winning the grant. So if you're like, oh, 40%, our revenue target, 40% of it should be derived from grants, you know that you need to look for a lot of grants. You need to invest your time in finding a lot of grants. That is your lead research. 30% of it is in donation. Okay, now donation, if it's a new, sorry, give me, I want to close my office. Okay. So then if it's a new nonprofit, you have a lot of work to do because now you need to sell, you need to market. Take down, reduce this. So now you need to market the organization. That's why I said marketing strategy is part of your outreach. Either you are doing it through content, you are doing it through traditional marketing ways. If you're not making content, I don't know what you are doing now. And your content is not until you dance and do phone and camera. Textual content, graphical content, faceless AI, tell stories. You need to understand that you need to invest in storytelling. Highly important. So you can say that, oh, okay, donation now, you need to get donation. If you're a new non-profit, you know that you have a lot of work. If it's an existing non-profit that they have database, you may want to start with your database. What do you have? Who are the people that I've always invested in this organization traditionally, conventionally. If it's a new one, you are doing a new target list. Who are the people that can invest or that do, you're looking for philanthropists? What are philanthropists that would traditionally invest in missions like this? You are making up the list, okay? You are doing lead research. It's just that the ICP is different. The ICP for grants is more organizational driven. The ICP for donation could either be organizational driven or individually driven. And if you are like, oh, is this sponsorship? The same thing is applicable for donation, either it is individual or organization. Your individual, you're definitely looking out for high net, high income, what is this thing called? High network, high net worth individual. Sorry, HNI. You're looking for high net worth individual. So you're thinking like, where can I find them? Where do they stay? Is it association? Do they have groups? Do they have community that I can plug myself to? Do I need to attend events? Do I need to? So, Oluchi, there is a lot of way that you can apply this. And if we then come into documentation processes, it's still the same thing. If we come into pipeline, it's still the same thing because you need to be able to have a tracker or CRM or documentation of how all the processes go from lead research to communication to that's your outreach message to responses to either it is a positive one or a negative one to programs that is involved. So that is where your pipeline management skills is coming in place. And if you're now looking into, okay, how do I want to do discovery calls with them? I've already explained that. That is how you understand their priorities. Understanding their priorities helps you in qualification, helps you in knowing if your mission aligns. How do you pitch? That's simple. That's the communication. I think our last class will be more on communicating, even though the project management class has answered some of those questions. Oh my God. Let's see. Memory. Sorry, please give me a moment. Sorry about that. I just want to quickly, I think some see something. Okay, good. My health is a non-profit NGO. So let's give an instance, let's give an example and say that there's a non-profit that needs $500,000. Okay, let me even use naira. 500,000 naira for a program, maybe a literary program. They want to do some educational on. Maybe you should give me an example, because the next thing I'm about to say now is on finance, financial literacy. Let's say financial literacy. They want to do some educational program on financial literacy that can help develop the saving culture of. Let me see what you are giving me example. Okay, I thought that was a message on financial literacy that they want to educate secondary school students on, developing saving culture. Let's assume that's the program. So what's the first thing you're going to do is you look into, if I were the one, Florence, my programs would likely be more CSR driven or maybe more SDG driven, because I like to align there. I actually have a non-profit organization, but let's leave that for. Let's leave that. Oluchi is out of the room. Okay. Let's leave that on the side. So let's assume that that's the goal. I'm looking for 500,000 naira to develop or to expand a financial literacy program. Is she back? Yes, she's back. To expand a financial literacy program. So what I'll think is, which organization would likely invest in this kind of program? And because there's no organization that is going to do anything for free. When I was in Nigeria for my program, KBM, Kingdom Builders in the Marketplace, I learned a lot with the Nigerian market. It shocked me. But no organization is going to do anything for, even if it's a church, nothing for free. Even if the mission aligns, they need to know what they are getting in turn. Even for international bodies that they have grants and the rest of things, they are still getting something in return. It's either they're getting the research, they're getting the reporting, every organization are getting something in return. So you need to be able to know that as I'm researching an organization that our mission aligns, I'm also searching for an organization that they have probably this CSR initiative that they've owned. And I'm also ensuring that I have my processes well documented and what they will be getting in return, because that is what I would be pushing forward while prospecting. So I would then do that. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll identify who the decision makers are. I've identified the organizations, I've identified the demographics, okay? I've identified the mission, which is the psychographics, our alignment. I've identified the behavioral side of things, which is, do they invest in this kind of programs? Then now I need to identify my decision makers so I can then define the demographics. So I'll sit down and say, who are the decision makers I need to get to that can invest in this? So for 500,000 naira, well, to me, I'll say it's a small money. So which means I can either go through organization or I can go through high net worth individual. Somebody can give me 500,000 naira to invest in it. Okay. But if it is $500,000, which is big, then I would then have to split it to which organization can I, get, what kind of tiers can I have? This is now I'm going into sponsorship because I'm putting together a program. What kind of tiers and outcome can I push forward that will help me in attracting the right sponsor? Why I am, building the relationship, telling my stories, and the rest of things. That is why you see relationship building, as you can see, it's highly critical for any business, either it is social impact, it is normal business, it's traditional business, it is small business, it is enterprise. Relationship building is highly critical. Then I'll build the relationship, send the message. I've identified the decision makers, I've sent the message, I've connected with them, I'm building the relationship, I'm looking into their programs, I'm investing my own time to bring value. Maybe it's something they did, maybe it's something they've done, maybe something that they're currently doing, even possibly say volunteer in one of some things, because sometimes you are not just doing something for now, you're doing it for a long time. As you're building the relationship for now, you're also trying to extend the relationship or sustain the relationship for a long time. So I build that relationship. Then I want to have conversations with them, or I present my case. Oh, I'm currently working on a program, which I don't know if it's going to be of impact to you or your organization. Oh, tell me more about it. Oh, I see that you guys really invest more in this, and this is the vision of the program. There was this lady that I really like. I work with her a lot. She has a nonprofit. I invest in a lot of our programs. She's in Abuja all of that day. And the way she presents her program to me, I think I've only said no once. I've only said it wasn't even a no, it was a not now kind of stuff for it was our last program that she has been doing. But I've always invested in her program. At least for the past 3 to 4 years, always invested in her program, no matter how small it is, because of the way she presents the program. She presents the program. She presents not just the program details, she presents the impact of the program. So you want to also do the same thing. And that's the best way for you to secure this sponsorship or to secure, let me use the word donation, depending on what the case may be. That's the way I'm going to do it. And I hope that has answered all the chief, all the chief, all the chief's questions. So the VSA skill set, it transfers to any industry. I've talked about HR today now. I've shown you that it transfers to even marketing. It transfers to non-profit now, NGO. So it transfers to it transfers across industry because the skill sets is very much, I won't say foundational, but it's uniquely positioned to work in any industry. Uniquely positioned to work in any industry. Honestly, do you have a follow-up question or does that solve your concerns? Honestly, if you're speaking, I can't hear you because you're on mute. Can you all hear her speak?
Really, like, I'm grateful because you really opened up my mind to she was saying. I was realizing that NGO owners that I know of that actually lack a lot of things that I can actually help them out with. Like, I know one NGO that they have been in existence for over 10 years and they don't even have solid funding. And I just like, okay, I can actually just use this as an opportunity to maybe practice and learn and also try something new as well. I didn't even know that this was a possibility in the NGO space. But thank you, Ma, or in the non-profit space. But thank you, Ma, for this, for opening my mind up like this.
Awesome. I'm glad I did. Any other question? Okay. So I'll take that as no question. When we start working on portfolio. You've already started working on portfolio. Where's my screen? So for portfolio development, some of the things that we are already doing are things that you just need to assign to your portfolio because your portfolio is more showing about what your skill set, what your pro is, and you all are already building that portfolio. So what I would say is this. You can use PowerPoint if you have access to PowerPoint or Google Slide to start putting together some of the things. So either it's the template that you've developed or some of the template that you have access to, in VSA. You can always start gathering all those things together because they're supposed to show you like evidence of things that you've done. And the biggest portfolio that you have right now is LinkedIn, which is why I want you all to invest in it. Invest in your positioning, invest in your visibility, invest in your mannerism of approach, because they are the biggest portfolio. But you see, the template is one of the biggest things that I want you all to start thinking about. So give me, let me note it down. So that I will give you, if possible, like is 27. If we put together like a framework or a template that you all can use. I have one portfolio. Let me see if I can find it. One portfolio template that's I think it was for a marketing class and where's my squad? Okay. What's the name of this? Which one is this one? Let me see which one I can. Okay, let me share my screen. Which one I can use as a sample. This is one portfolio. Can you see my screen? So this is one portfolio. So this is not something serious like can see the way she did it. About me, work samples, skills, tools, and services. A little about R and why you should hire me, but I won't recommend why you should hire me anyways. Lead generation and data entry. She's more into executive assistant, I believe so. Yeah, she worked for my company and she's more into executive assistant, calendar management. So I just wanted you to see that there's nothing serious about the portfolio stuff, certifications, blah, 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 then an email address, or just to give you insight into some of um, the ways that you can do it. Then this is a portfolio template that I can definitely share with everyone very usually. Even Google has a portfolio template that you use to develop a portfolio, to presentation project if you have. But most of what you'll be showing will be more templates. This one is also a template. I like this one better. This one is a site. This one is a sheet in a place that you can convert to clear. So I like this one better. I think I'll share this one with everyone. So you can start trying to fill things in. But for some of your projects, if you don't have any project you have done in the past, the things that you can include. If you don't have much, you can definitely include some of the project like current clients work that if you're working on Sephora, that you can also definitely include that. Then there's one that I yeah. Matilda. Let's see. Okay. This is Matilda. A little about me. This is a standard I actually recommend. Little about me, what I do, my work and contact. About if you don't have picture, it's not compulsory. This is one picture you have. Is are you there to them? Listen, life is easier now. There's always things that you can do. So this is we need to work on. We're having a PDL this week on CV, resume, and I think it's interview career readiness. So please put it in mind this Wednesday. So we'll be able to also solve some of this issue this Wednesday by God's grace. So this is what she does. She's more in the marketing side, but I'll guide you through on what we can do for what you need to put together for the VSA side, depending on the problem that you want to solve. This one, what I do, she wants to enchant us. This is what our skills, our resume. Our work. It's a lot, especially done a lot. That's some of the work. So if you don't have, she's more in the marketing cycle. If you don't, and testimonials, you don't have things. Let me say, teachers. Okay, this one is more towards video editing. So that's just it. So let's put it in mind and see if it's. I'll put together something for you, or that you can follow through. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, actually, that I need it to be one of the things that you put in your featured on LinkedIn. Okay. Any other question? Then I'm just going to say something because I forget. Where's my screen? Content. You all need to be making content on LinkedIn. Either it's from your personal story, from what you're learning, you all need to be making content on LinkedIn. And whenever you share something on LinkedIn, please feel free to put it in the community, your own community, not the general one, your own community, so that every other person can engage in it. It's also going to help expand your reach. So let's cultivate that culture of building together. It's really going to help you, because sometimes you may have the strength, you may not have the strength or the skill set to do certain things that you begin to see, but you have a community and network to rely on, so you can still achieve it. That's the other thing that is going to say. Any other question? Any question? At the absence of no question, we can call this a day. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I really enjoyed the conversation. How can I help you? I enjoyed the conversation with everyone. I believe that this has been transformative. So let's just working on Sephora Monday. Let's ensure we're on the support clinic. We'll be dealing more with that. For Wednesday, we'll have our PDL, professional development. That's going to be the last professional development for this cohort. And please, our next cohort is coming up on July. So please let's share with our friends and families and colleagues that we know would benefit. Don't keep this good work. At least it's a good work. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your community, share it on LinkedIn, share it on Instagram, share it on your WhatsApp, share it on in fact, put it in your workplace bulletin. If you need me to send you the flyer, I'll send it to you. But what I'm just trying to say is that share it because I believe as it's benefiting you, it's something that will benefit much more people that will need to. And if you ever eat a rock, you don't know what to do next, please, ChatGPT is your friend. Always go there and ask questions. AI assisted, AI assisted research is something that will always help you. On that note, I want to say have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sleep well, go to church tomorrow, dance if you go to church. And I wish you all have a great one. I'll stay behind as
Thanks
usual.
so much, ma. Good
Thank
night.
you so much, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Bye.
Bye bye, ma.
Ciao.
Thank you. I'm going to church tomorrow.
Okay. Pray for me.
Definitely, ma. Don't worry. As you have also poured out to us, you'll be added since we added onto you to multiple
Amen.
folds. Thank you, ma.
Amen. You're welcome.
Let's go.
Omotola and Chukwemeka, do you have any question?